Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your models will practically build themselves. Hey folks, it's Mad Dog Merv, and I'm out in front of Paradise Island Hobby Store here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We are just off of Tropicana, just west of the Strip, not very far. So we're going to check it out, see what's in here.
The hobby shop is not far from the Strip. It's actually just south of Tropicana on a street called Arville, and Arville is less than a mile from the Strip. And here is the corner, the Orleans, and behind where I am here, maybe 1,000 feet is where the store is. So we're going to go through the store counterclockwise. The first thing you do when you walk through the door is to the right. You've got this little display of these Funko figures, which are very, very popular right now, and they sell very well. It's good that they've got a variety of some things here to draw folks in. So already I'm impressed by just looking at this. Next to that is the car section, and you can see they've got a few cars in there. On the very bottom shelf in the back, they've got some boats and some ships. They've even got a few RC cars there on the very, very top. Not a whole lot, but a few. So they do have some options of some things you can get. A few truck models, and like I said, the automotive stuff. And this is a better look at that. I did like the fact that they had quite a few ships here in this particular store. It's not a very large store, but what they do have is very good, in my opinion. Here's a look into this first area again, and off on the left-hand side again on the bottom, you have more ships, plenty of vehicles, and they've got some great paint racks. You've got Model Air, Model Color. They've got several other brands we'll look at here in just a second. But again, a little more detailed into the automotive section that they have. It's good to see. Not a lot of stores have a good selection of car models, and very few have a good selection of ship models. So this was really a neat thing for me to see. Again, some more of the inventory. What surprised me was the larger scale that they had up here on top. So again, a very good selection for the size of shop that this is, because it isn't very big. It really isn't. The nice thing that I found is as I pull up to it, it's in kind of an industrial area, so it doesn't it's not going to get a lot of foot traffic. It definitely is a destination store. Here's a few more goodies and some of the paint, and they are combined with a tint shop. So when you walk in, they'll ask you, are you here for models or are you here for tint? Which I thought was kind of funny. If I'd have been in my Mustang, I'd have told them I'm here for both, because I could use some tint on the Mustang for sure. But apparently that's part of the business they're in, and the area that they're in, they have a garage kind of in the back, and they will be expanding into their back area very soon with some display cases and some customer builds, things like that. So again, here's your Vallejo weathering effects. That's a nice touch. a bunch of evergreen styrene. That was very good to see. I actually picked up a few pieces here that we were out of at my local hobby store in Salt Lake. They also carry trains, and we'll look at some of the train stuff they have in a minute. It's not an extensive amount of trains because for the most part, guys that are into the trains are very specific about what they want. And usually they'll go to a hobby store like this and order in what they want. So again, here's more paints. So they do have a very good selection of paint. The Tamiya spray cans, which are definitely nice to have access to. And look, pretty much a full line of Tamiya paint. So yeah, this is a great stop if you're looking for hobby supplies as well. They have quite a bit of armor and aircraft. Now, again, not an overabundance because you've only got a certain amount of space, but I love the variety that they have. And as I got looking closer, I noticed that they had a few kits in here that are some older kits, out of production kits. So there are some folks that have made deals with them, and they're not on consignment. The items aren't on consignment, they're actually for sale. But they've picked up some items that are out of people's collections that again are out of production. So that was really, really good to see. I think that's a very important component to have in a modern day hobby store, is you need to not only offer the newest and latest and greatest, which anyone can get online, also you need to offer that you can get it right now, that old out of production kit that is reasonably priced. So there's science fiction stuff here too. Now at the bottom, they've got that new Atlantis Snoopy and Red Baron. I had to pick up the Red Baron, and we'll go into that in a different video. But I'll have to pick up the Snoopy at some point in time too. But that was really neat to see that they had there. Again, you have some of the sci-fi stuff. Military vehicles. Yeah, this was a good little, as far as I was concerned, a good little representation of just wanting a variety of things to shop for in the way of models. And of course, they have the Gundams, which are huge. These things sell like crazy. They're very popular right now. It's kind of the new rage in modeling for the younger folks, and great. It helps keep the hobby alive. So very grateful that they have, and you can see they got a pretty decent selection here. And that again is really, really good to see. And here we have a train set, a couple of different train sets. Just kind of some odds and ends, new items that have come in, like this big Gundam, the Top Gun F-18, things like that that are kind of new hot releases. Again, great variety as far as I'm concerned. Now, just down from that is one display case that has some end scale in it, but it also has some built models that they have on display, and these were kind of fun to look at. And there's also a 350th scale ship. Yay. I was really tempted to buy that, but I got something else instead. And here's your modeling supplies. So good little representation of modeling supplies here, including the Molotow chrome that I like. Looks like they got some Salva set. And again, this is all in that one display case. Looks like some metal barrels for ship. Yeah, just, again, a great little variety. Some paintbrushes and some files. Quite a few different paintbrushes. You've got some car accessories and some car decals. Looks like we have some like MRE boxes for 1/35th scale. Again, a good little representation of some accessories. There's bare metal foil. And then, of course, there's some things for the Gundam folks. So, and then there's some model railroad stuff. I guess I didn't get a picture of the engines, the HO scale engines that are underneath the cash register. They had a decent little selection there. Again, more paints and some of the railroad things, as well as it looks like we have some Hot Wheels as well. Yeah, just a nice little store. Mike was the gentleman I talked to. He didn't want to appear on camera, but this is a place that I would recommend visiting.
All right, guys, so if you're here in Vegas visiting or whatever, you got a few minutes, come in and check the place out. It's small right now. They're going to be doing some expanding and make it a little bit bigger. They've got some great stuff. The staff is really friendly. It's a cool place, and I highly recommend you're here in Vegas or stopping by for some reason, stop in and see these guys. You know, let's support them. It's important to build this industry. So take care, and we'll see you next week on The Stash.